Good morning, Occupied States of America. This is Dr. Ryan Bartek from Occupy Portland, giving you an update once again on everything that's happening. We are in a situation that we are T-minus November 5th, which is going to be a huge day for this Occupy movement because it's going to be International Bank Transfer Day, where everybody pulling their money out, as well as the day that Anonymous supposedly is going to try to delete Facebook. Now, today, as many of you know, Colonel Gaddafi was executed. He's finally down. So that's big in terms of the Arab Spring. Okay. So the other big news that I really want to get into, of course, is other occupations that have popped up. We have now 1,587 active occupations worldwide. Port Oxford, Oregon is a new one that just popped up, as well as Occupy Brooklyn. So now they're actually going to be going for Brooklyn, Yonkers, Long Island, etc., etc. New York is spreading intensely. The major thing that I'm going to be reading today is something that was voted on, well, will be voted on completely by 7 p.m. tonight in Zuccotti Park in New York. And that's about a National General Assembly of all the occupations that will be hosted July 4th, 2012, and in which delegates will be elected from around the country representing the different occupations that are going on. And I'm just going to read you the whole thing because it's fairly intense. Number one. The Occupy Wall Street movement, through the local General Assembly, should elect an executive committee comprised of 11 people or some other odd number of people that is manageable for meetings. Ideally, this committee should represent each city in the U.S. that is being occupied. Number two, the executive committee will then attend to local issues such as obtaining permits, paying for public sanitation, and dealing with the media. More important, the executive committee shall plan and organize the election of the 870 delegates to a National General Assembly between now and July 4th, 2012. Number three, as stated in the 99% Declaration, each of the 435 congressional districts will form an election committee to prepare ballots and invite citizens in those districts to run as delegates to a National General Assembly in Philadelphia beginning on July 4th and convening until October 2012. Each of the 435 congressional districts will elect one man and one woman to attend the National General Assembly. The vote will be made by direct democratic ballot regardless of voter registration status as long as the voter has reached the age of 18 and is a U.S. citizen. This is not a sexist provision. Women are dramatically underrepresented in politics even though they comprise more than 50% of the U.S. population. Number five, the executive committee will act as a central point to solve problems, raise money to pay for the expenses of the election of the National GA, and make sure that all 870 delegates are elected prior to the meeting on July 4th. Number six, the executive committee would also arrange a venue in Philadelphia to accommodate the delegates attending the National GA, where the Declaration of Values, Petition of Grievances, and Platform would be proposed, debated, voted on, and approved. The delegates would also elect a chair from their own ranks to run the meetings of the Congress and break any tie votes. We will also need the expertise of a gifted parliamentarian, however you say it, to keep the meetings moving smoothly and efficiently. Number seven, the final declaration, platform, and petition of grievances, after being voted upon by the 870 delegates to the National GA, would be formally presented by the 870 delegates to all three branches of government and all candidates running for federal public office in November 2012. Thus, the delegates would meet up from July 4th to sometime early to late October 2012. Number eight, the delegates to the National GA would then vote on a time period presently suggested as 1 year, to give the newly elected government in November an opportunity to redress the petition of grievances. This is our right as a people under the First Amendment. Number nine, if the government fails to redress the petition of grievances and drastically change the path this country is on, the delegates will demand the resignation and recall of all members of Congress, the President, and even the Supreme Court, and call for new elections by, of, and for the people with 99 days of the resignation demand. Number 10, there will never be any call to violence by the delegates, even if the government refuses to redress the grievances and new elections are called for by the delegates. Nor will any delegate agree to take any money, job promise, or gifts from corporations, unions, or any other private source. Any money donated or raised by the executive committee may only be used for publicizing the vote, the National GA, and for travel expenses and accommodation at the National GA Assembly only. All books and records will be published openly online so that everyone may see how much money is raised and how the money is spent each month. There will be no money allowed to purchase delegate votes as we have in the current government. No corporate sponsorship. So this is the beautiful thing that is brewing, and we are all part of this, and we hope that people out there support this and look more into this, and we will know by 7 p.m. what New York is voting and how this will occur.
Medvedchik.
Hi, Little Bear reporting here.
We are present at the press conference today with Mayor Sam Adams, right before he takes off for his 10-day trip to China. And we would just have to make a statement back, and here it is. So for as long as there have been politics and wealth, there has been corruption and disparity. The fight against oppression and inequality is a never-ending battle, but it is the most opportune time that we, the people, have set out again and to raise our voice in the name of justice, not to relive history, but to make it. The City of Portland, the Mayor's Office, and various government agencies have repeatedly expressed a central idea. The issues that occupy Portland and the greater Occupy movement are discussing, they represent a tipping point within our society, and the ideas expressed are foundational, not only to the situation we find ourselves in today, but the very principles upon which our Constitution is based. We are the 99%. But even more importantly, you are the 99%. Some have said that we are vague and lacking specificity. The truth is that Occupy Portland represents something quite specific. It's a voice. Those who have expressed hesitation over our goals and messages have been just as marginalized as those of us who have set up tents and are expressing discontent here. The Mayor's Office today restated that our protest represents an important message. And so long as the function and safety of the city is not compromised, discretion will be used to address our situation. Occupy Portland has been engaging in peaceful, non-violent protests for 15 days. We have learned a lot, grown a lot, and integrated ourselves with our neighbors, friends, and the community at large. We invite people of all walks of life, of all political and ideological backgrounds, of all educational and vocational opportunity to come and participate. We hide nothing that we do. We keep our meetings publicly available, and we do not exclude voices from the process. If anyone feels their voice is not represented, we invite them to contribute to our conversations. Some have attempted to paint us with a broad brush and color everyone at Occupy Portland with imaginative descriptions or accusations. Anyone who perpetuates such fantasy is either lying or has never actually set foot at the occupation. We challenge everybody to uphold these intellectual principles of honesty, ethical conduct, and to avoid cheap labels. People of the entire world, no matter what their ideologies, are waking up to the fact that voices are not being represented, and that their representatives often govern without their consent. We all experience this in different ways, but the injustice and inequality is systemic. And so to voice our concerns, we venture outside the system, where we can talk to each other and collaborate on what really matters to us as people and citizens of the United States of America. The entire world has been waiting for things to be different. It's time to stop waiting and to start doing. For every protester that sets up a tent, there are thousands at home that silently understand. We can't be silent any longer, and neither should you. Occupiers, detractors, media, small business owners, union members, laborers, public employees, police officers, and more. We are all the 99%.